Alright, so I need to replace the swivel case on the Honda BF50, which has rusted out, and the bottom of it down here has rusted out so much that it truly swivels without any support. So I have a new swivel case here that I bought on eBay, and I have to get it all off and put back together and see how it does. So we'll put some pictures up. Okay, so I've got the swivel case off. I did have to use the grinder to get the to just cut through the upper motor bolts, but then they all came out without any problem. I did take the stern bracket off, which was actually very easy to get the pivot tube free at that point. Probably the hardest problem was getting the piston for the tilt trim free from the bolt going through that. But it's all off, and we're going to start putting it back together. Alright, so this is the hard part. I got the bracket on all 4 bolts, but now I have to reconnect the shifter arm way back up in here, and I don't know if I couldn't figure out a way to get the swivel arm back on without taking the the shifter rod off, but I left the shifter rod in the plastic cover through the center of the thing, and then put the swivel arm on the bolts. And now I'm going to try and get this pin back through the hole in the shift rod to get it back connected. Alright, so getting access to the upper shift rod down here, I've put the boot back on now. I got some pictures. But the main thing was to make a little pry bar to get into down into where the pin for the holding the shifter goes into the upper shift rod. And basically get it down in there and be able to put some leverage on it to pry it back into the hole. And to do that, I removed all of these electrical connections to get a little better access down into the space. But it was frustrating and tedious, but it did go back together okay. Alright, so the swivel case is on, everything's back together. A few little extra pieces that need to be fixed up, but we no longer have the wiggle down at the bottom. It's nice and clean, no rust going, all connected. The biggest challenge was definitely getting the shift rod back into position, but using some tonsils and graspers, I was able to get it in and then get it all back together. Hopefully it'll work well.